Well, thanks, Peter, for that run of Gunman Clive. Next, we're going to have MGS Twin Snakes with Joseph Joestar. Alright guys, looks like we're set up for the next run, which is Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes on Extreme with Joseph Joestar. On comms, we're going to have Tyler doing all the commentary. Joseph should pop in for his post-run shenanigans here. So without further ado, here is Twin Snakes.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler. Joseph is not wanting to do commentary, so I'll be here with you for this entire run. And again, huge shout out to the MGSR crew for pulling this together, and all you guys for donating to make this possible. Now, if I'm correct, we are going to stop the incentive count here in the cave section before we get captured, like going into Wolf 1, as we still are trying to figure out if we're going to be saving Meryl or Otacon. And do you have a small update for that, Glenn, before we get started?
Yeah, one moment here. Bid Wars. Right now, it is save Otacon at $170 to save Meryl's $125. So there's still time if anyone wants to get in on that. If you want to help Joseph save Meryl, I know that'll put a smile on his face for sure.
Yeah, he is a big fan of the Meryl ending. Okay, and without further ado, I think we can get started. So I'm going to give him just a small text countdown, because again, he doesn't have any comms, he can't hear anything. So 3, 2, 1, go. And here we go. So this is Twin Snakes. This is, of course, the GameCube remake of Metal Gear Solid 1. Has a lot of mixed reviews from the fans, but there's a lot of interesting things for the speedrun, and that's mostly thanks to all the wonderful people through this community that have made this a really fantastic run. Now, for this intro section, it's very similar to the first game where there's nothing really going on, except you have these lockers here. And, this is the, MGS2 engine, so those added in lockers and such. So you'll see we're just going to be sitting in here the entire time. And, yeah, so this is essentially just like an auto-scroll. We have to just kind of sit here for a minute or so. And, yeah, so with the MGS2 engine comes over, one of the most important things is that we have lethal and we have non-lethal weapons now. And Joseph is playing on Extreme, and we're going for the big boss rank, which means that he's going to be non-lethally taking out all of the bosses with either the M9 or the PSG-1T, or with whatever reason possible. So yeah, so we're just gonna be just sitting in here for a while, just being cozy while we see the one for people that made the game in the top left corner and bottom right, apparently. Yeah, so nothing really much to talk about here. Oh, one other thing that is kind of different is that for Big Boss rank, you need to play on Game Over if discovered, which means that whenever you are seen by the enemy, then it'll just automatically game over. So we have some strats to make sure that we can try to get through these rooms as fast as possible. And Joseph's going to be coming out of the locker here pretty soon. Yeah, okay, here we go. And there's going to be one guard coming down on the elevator, as per usual, if you play the first game. And, yep. That'll be his cue to get out of the locker and get ready. Now, you can save a little bit of, frames by trying to go there a little bit earlier, but, I mean, it's mostly just splitting hairs. And typically, you watch an MGS1 speedrun of this, you would just gun it through the helipad, take the alert because of different strategies. But for this one, we're actually going to be taking it a little bit safer. So we're going to be using the MGS2 engine to kind of bait the guard into going towards us, and then we're just gonna slip right past him, and then you're gonna see Joseph go to a locker to pick up some very important stun grenades for later on. That's gonna be for the tank fight. Yeah, see here, yep, just gets him distracted, and he's just gonna slip on right by. There will be a camera here, and kind of need to be careful with it, but it's not too bad as long as you just tug this little wall there. And then he's also gonna do the same thing with this guy. He's gonna bait him over and just do a little loop around. And as you see Joseph now spamming, so this was first, really discovered through MGS2, and the guys put this in probably about 1 year ago or so. But by doing this, you actually move faster through the vents because you're canceling the animation. Oh, and he cooked the chaff. Hopefully that canceled. Let's see. Oh, just let it go. Okay. You let it go. Is that going? Oh, wow. Okay. So, unfortunately, the first game over. I've actually never seen a game over in the vents. That's definitely a first, so can mark that one down for that's never happened before. So anyway, now the interesting thing is that with that, I don't know if the guard pattern is going to be different or not, because interesting. So yeah, but you'll see him just doing this throughout, just to move a little bit faster. And this does matter for Extreme, because this actually beats the cycle that you would normally be on if you just went through the events as normal. So you'll see us do this a total of 3 to 4 times throughout the run, 2 in the vent section, then 1 very briefly during the caves. And I believe after a certain point, you can mash once you get to 10, 11 times per second, then it actually just starts not really gaining you much as far as speed goes. So now that we've done that, I'm gonna try to go to the elevator here. So I was just taking this one very carefully because I just messed up in the vents, so I don't really know what the cycle is. Over that guard, and with the caution system, he won't be able to see us, and it was calling a caution, which will be cleared out by the time that we go to the next floor, so it's no big deal. And of course, you have to go and talk to the DARPA chief, and then have the guard encounter. So another vent section, as you'll see here, doing the same exact thing. Luckily, there's no guards around, so even if for whatever reason gets tripped up, it'll be fine. So yeah, this first fight here is going to be kind of important because depending on which kind of strategy Joseph is going for, because I think he does a little mixture of what he used to do before and he's trying to implement some new stuff now. In recent developments, it's very important to actually get magazines, and that's for the tank fight. Now, at the highest level, the tank fight is something that is outrageous, and it can just kill runs because of how insane that boss is and like how broken it is. But I believe Joseph goes a little bit of a mixed bag where like he's doing more for the older strat, but he's still throwing in magazines because with the tank, you throw in a magazine to the cockpit and then it'll be spinning around in there, and then you can tranquilize him with the M9 and it will treat it just like you had a fully cooked stun grenade in there for whatever reason. So Dark Chief is dead, unfortunately, and now Meryl's going to let us out. And Meryl can be either really helpful or really detrimental to this fight, so we'll see, how she will act exactly. And also just needs to be very mindful of his shots because he has limited counts, and if he runs out of ammo and he misses too many shots, then the fight will be much slower, and he'll be relying on Meryl to take out a lot of the guard, which is the best thing. So you see here, just lock on to the chest and then just slightly move up to go. And as you see, Joseph's already wasting ammo. Oh, he didn't get it.
What are you waiting for?
So normally you'd like to waste that, open the locker, and then grab that one to then get another magazine. So as many mags as possible. Again, same thing here. Luckily, oh. Yeah, Meryl not really helping us too much. And now you're seeing us, go down the hallway and then trying to trank him like this. Now, not in the... You kind of had to wait, but thanks to the Invis 2 engine, you can actually just kind of do this where they only need to come inside the room and you can just take them out. The only downside is that from them dropping stuff, they'll be outside. So, like, if you need, like, SOCOM ammo, because they drop SOCOM ammo, and I believe they also drop rations, but maybe not on this difficulty. Just gonna shoot him in the leg here. It's like a safety measure, yep, and that's gonna waste his last. Kind of have Meryl kill the last guy. And he did waste the M9, so he gets another magazine, and he grabbed that SOCOM pack at the last second. And now the second boss is going to be come up Ocelot, which is the most laughable boss in the game, because thanks to the MG2 engine, it has been made super easy. It is like the most borked fight in this specific version of the game. And I'm not really sure, because he may be going to the northwest room to go get some ammo. I know that he had done that previously, but last time I watched him doing PB attempts, he did not go for it, but I assume this is all for marathon safety here, so I think he'll be grabbing some C4 and getting the M9 bullets in the northwest secret room. Grab the extra C4 there, yep. Yep, just as I expected, he'll be going to this room, because this room has stun grenades and has M9, so pretty decent room, but it is a bit out of the way. Marathon safety is always important. You want, things to go as smoothly as possible. I'm just gonna blow up the wall here. And then got 2 more walls to blow up, and then we're gonna start the Ocelot fight, which, for the Ocelot fight, you literally just stand still, and you just do 3 headshots on him, and he's pretty much done. So, the most laughable boss in the game. You see, not taking any damage there just to make sure. Because while, this is easy, you could potentially, get hit a couple times, but you see here, you stay in place, dodge the bullet. Even if you miss, it's whatever, because he's going to stay right here. And just like that, he is down. So, yeah. And also, while this game, is based off the original, there are some, minor tweaks and quality of life changes. Like, for example, from the original, you could not call Meryl in this room for the reasons of it being jammed, I guess. And also, you could not go north to this door to actually get out, because that was actually a higher level card, but they actually made it to where it's a level 2 card, because I believe it gives you level 2 if I'm remembering correctly. So I'll come out here, that way she can open up the door leading to the canyon. And as you talk here for a minute. For the original, you don't have to do this. You can go out of bounds. You don't have to color at all. Another thing that's really good for this game is that you can, skip through all the codecs, whereas in the original, you get a match for every single screen, so that can be kind of annoying. So for this one, it's a lot better.
Is there somebody there?
He's just going to kind of weave around these columns here and make sure that it doesn't get caught. Now, this one's going to be a bit important because you guys won't waste too much time here, because once you go to the tank hangar, you're going to get an immediate call from Meryl. You want to not answer too late. And see, he does it pretty quickly. So you want to get around to where he can get into the side room here, because he's going to be grabbing Professor. And I believe there's also chaff grenades here. Yep, so again, silicon suppressor, that... And this is so that he can take out the sensors with ease. They replace lasers with the IR sensors from MGS2. It's just a bit better than just doing straight up lasers. So, getting his minions ready for the tank fight coming up. Has chaff and stun grenades, and he also is going to be using C4. And I don't think he's just Claymore. I think he only uses the one C4 that is extra to blow up the treads. Oh, nope, he's going to grab some Claymore. Yeah, so a very common thing to do for this fight is to go up and then blow up the treads. That way it actually moves a lot slower. Like I said, Joseph's going to be doing a little bit of a mixed bag. He's going to be doing that, and he's going to be doing a little bit of the magazine strat. See right here, throwing the chaff causes him to not fire the cannon, and he's going to try to get one in the hole. And it's successful. So once you get that little mini cutscene, that means that you are successful and you're going to do the maximum amount of damage possible. Successfully. So 3 times with the treads, and it's going to be moving fairly slow. Now you're just going to be just playing golf, essentially, just throwing these stun grenades into the hole. Fortunately, it was a little bit short on that one, didn't have enough distance, so... this one is... You gotta be very careful. Ooh, bad throw. It's okay, though. The guy wasn't even out yet. Yeah, so he's not getting too many of these throws, but there is one pack of stuns here, so he's got a couple more chances. See if he gets in this one. Still a little too short. So I think at this point he's going to finish off Gunner 1 with the M9, and then he may go to the magazine. I'd imagine he would, because I believe he does that for phase 2. Okay, so Gunner 1's down. Oh, he's going to throw the stun beforehand. That's very smart. And it got in. Yeah, that was really good. So while the second guy was coming in, he actually took the opportunity to actually do that while the tank was standing still. So that's really good on Joseph's part there. If he lands all of these, it's a little short, and I think that's a little early. Ooh, barely. Okay, yeah, so here you see the magazines. He's going to be chunking these in, trying to get one inside. And he did. So now he can just use the M9 and just trank them, and it's going to act as if that's a full stun grenade in his lap, so... For whatever reason, this happened. Shoutouts to JMC for finding this little exploit in the fight. Oh, a little bit of a weird angle there. And that is the tank fight. So it's time for the one continue. This is looking like a pretty good run. And the nuke building here, this one is a little bit tricky, but here's our first quote-unquote glitch, and this is from MGS2. You actually... spam by changing your weapon, and then you can just go straight through that, and you don't have to crawl underneath. Because if you lay on the floor, then you are forced to take a codec call, so we're going to try to not to be on the floor if possible. As you see here is a very clean nuke building, as we're going to be going to the Ninja. But first we need to go grab the Nikita missile launcher. Instead of it being, to that room 2 doors down, this one's going to be kind of out in the open. And also there's going to be lockers here with some stuff, so again, very small quality of life changes, just slightly moving things around. Now I have to take out the control panel here with the Nikita. That's why we need... that's why we actually need it right now. And it'd be a small little cutscene here. and you can actually unequip it, and you can make it explode a little bit further away to save a little bit of time. We'll see if Joseph does that. And the only tricky part here is going to be gun kills. Be very careful for the text out here. Yeah, you just want to kind of like let it fly and just trust that the guns will not shoot it. Because as long as like they're letting it fly and it's accelerating, then it's fine. And with that, the electrified floor is gone. Another interesting thing for this one compared to the original is that you can actually kind of like hold your breath by spamming Y on the GameCube controller, and that will make your O2 gauge drop a lot less. Of course, the infamous scene with the ninja taking out all the guards and the train stations. Now, this fight is also going to be fairly technical coming up, so we're going to be putting Gray Fox through this loop where we are not making him go to the cutscene to start doing the phases. So we're just going to be doing this entire time. And also, you'll see Joseph do this punch, and then on the kick, he's actually switching to the Nikita, and that does the Nikita swing damage. So that's very important. As you see here, he's going to keep on repeating this process. Shooting him once, making sure he blocks, doing a double punch, and then doing a punch-punch-kick combo. And like at some certain point, you want to stop doing this to where he'll go into his like first cutscene, and then you just have to hit him once, and then he's down. Shout outs to Blue, Wall Guy, and Airlane for helping make this fight a lot easier. This fight has gone through a lot of revisions through the time that I've been playing Twin Snakes, and with each revision, it's just getting much easier and much more exploitable and faster. So. Yeah, because compared to doing this through the original, you'd have to go through all the phases and like do like the hide and seek, and then it would just be a mess. And in this game, you don't have to shoot him 3 times whenever he's like going crazy. That's all just in the cutscene here. It's going to be a lot of codecs and cutscenes. So don't know if do we have any updates on the incentives as far as like for Meryl or for Otacon, since it's coming up soon?
Nope, they were as they stand when we started. 170 for Otacon, 125 for Meryl.
All right, well, so if you guys like the bro Otacon, then you're in good shape. If some of you guys want Meryl at the end of the game, be sure to donate before you get to the caves. We're getting up there pretty soon. Thanks for the update. And yep, there's gonna be lots of cutscenes. This is probably the most cutscene heavy block in the game as far as like with the codec. So, and a little Easter egg there, shooting Mario, and I believe that does refill your health up, but he's already had full health. So it's just a small Easter egg there. Now we're gonna be backtracking to where we were previously. And we have to go and get Meryl as she is disguised, quote unquote. But all we need to do really is and then she'll see us and run to the bathroom. So pretty easy. And the Mantis fight is going to be yet another technical fight with a phase skip in it. These like Tank, Ninja, and Mantis all have a lot of complicated things going into them. Like most of these bosses have been optimized fairly well, and they're actually pretty exploitable. Yep, knock on the wall and just walk forward, and then Meryl's just gonna go straight into the bathroom. Starts this little cutscene sequence. Phase skips count found by Roy. I can't remember who exactly found it, but I do know Roy was probably who came across that. It may have been Roy, but I don't want to misspeak. But I know that Roy was one of the first people to actually come across it or use it. But yeah, shoutouts to Precious Roy as well. Doesn't run this game as much anymore, but he also had his fair share of things to be put in the run that we still use today. And the reason why we have the Nikita out is that during the next cutscene here, whenever she's going to be controlled by Mantis, we're just going to whack her with the Nikita. It's going to be a bit faster than just running up and doing a punch kick, so we're just going to just whack. And here starts Mantis And for this game specifically, you have to go to 4, not 2. I don't know why it was 4. I think there's some other major reason, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But yeah, so we're going to be very careful on how much damage we actually do, because you need to do a certain amount of damage in order to get this phase skip. And you can either punch him, or you can hit him like that, where it's like where they have the non-crit, and see he does the Nikita whack twice. Punch it yet again, and then the rest of these should be critical shots. And just to make this a little bit harder, they actually made the time where your vision gets taken over a lot shorter in this game. And if all of that was done correctly, this phase should be skipped. This is a bit of a different strategy than I'm used to seeing, so I'm assuming that this is the phase skip. And it is, so as you see, she just falls right back down, because normally she'd be shooting at you, but that skips the phase right there, so good job, Joseph. And for this one, you just need to trank Mantis and you're good to go. Although Joseph is on the floor, so it's a bit troublesome. He has to get back up. He doesn't have too much time to fool around here, so... Okay. That was a bit close. So now the rest of it is just going to be trying to hit him in the critical spots. Oh, did not get the crit spot. That's unfortunate. And did not get the Nikita whack. Okay, so... Had a little bit of trouble here towards the end. That's okay. Oh. Got knocked down. And now he's going to go to the next phase, and then... Yep, just like that. Nice crotch shot. And that is Mantis. So yeah, guys, coming up on the caves, unless we have any more donations, unless someone wants to snipe it last second, I think this is it, right? Are we doing Meryl, or are we doing Otacon? Do you mind giving us that?
We got a snipe for Meryl.
Ooh, wait, so Meryl is in the lead right now?
Yep.
Okay, and now, what was it decided, like, at the caves, or, like, at the end of caves? Like, is the cutoff right now?
I believe that's what he wanted.
Okay. I'm gonna add him and say Meryl ending.
But shoutouts to D-Limes with the snipe.
D-Limes! Ugh.
Who left no
How
comment,
could you?
by the way.
No comments. Okay.
No comment, but his donation was nice.
Well, so you guys are going to get the Meryl ending, the typical non-speed rating. So we're going to see Joseph's mashing skills here. And what you saw Joseph just do here is he was shooting Meryl to make her not go to the cutscene and, you know, talk, and then just roll right into her and just went into the load zone for the next room. So hopefully Joseph has his Discord open or something, and because I had tagged him saying Meryl ending to make sure, because he's not hearing what I'm saying right now, so I'm sure he'll be fine. So another big change is that because of the introduction of the M9 and the PSG-1T, the PSG-1T actually spawns in the lab, so you don't even need to go all the way back to the armory like you would in the original. So we literally just have to go back through the commander room, and then just have to go back out. Oh, and these dogs! Oh, the dog got him. Yeah, these dogs are quite ruthless. As you can see, they're just pummeling through Joseph right now. And these dogs kind of just ragdoll towards you if you let them, and like their hitboxes are quite large, so they're one of the more weirder aspects of the game. So taking a little bit of damage, but it's not that bad. We're gonna get a at Torture, I believe, so that's fine, and shouldn't really be taking damage at Sniper Wolf. So yeah, right here in the nuke building B1, on the left-hand side, there's a room with PSG-1T in it, so it makes that a lot better. And just for you're gonna trank that guard, go down to this bottom left room and grab all the goodies. Now the PSG-1 is going to be important later on as well for Vulcan Raven, so want to be kind of mindful of how much ammo you have here. And I believe he should be picking up some of the extra ammo here in the caves. Probably tranking the rest of the dogs because he's got 2 shots left on his M9. Only issue is that after prison, he'd have to, or no, I think Adolf he'd have to grab the extra M9 ammo at the end of the arena. We'll see what he does though. Luckily, next time that you go through here, it's a lot simpler. You just have the handkerchief on and you're just doing fine. Looks like he's skipping the ammo? Yeah, he's skipping the ammo. Oh, no, he got one of them. I believe there's 2 or 3 ammo boxes here, so he got one of them. And there's one as well at the fight. So yeah, so as soon as we actually get in here, we're just going to immediately go to PSG 1T and then just press Pentasmin twice, and then just... Oh, he actually just did it 4 times. A little... Want to make sure it was good. Ooh, nice running shot, but did not get that one, unfortunately. So you want all headshots here. Wow, that's really good on these running headshots. Wow. I don't even do those, to be honest, because I'm not good at... Quite impressive. Nice one. So yeah, I think he needs to grab the extra M9 ammo, unless he knows where to get it elsewhere, because you need it for the canyon section. Yeah, because there's that M9 ammo floating up there. Okay, yeah, so he's gonna get the M9 ammo. Okay. Thought so.
So, quick update. D-Limes trolled us all. He re-sniped himself for Otacon.
Oh, wait, no!
Raichu got it.
Okay, I'll just tag him again. Jeez.
Hopefully he got it.
If not, then blame D-Limes for the very late snipe.
Oh, I will.
Okay, we got it. Okay. The million tags. All right. Appreciate you guys for donating.
Indeed, keep them coming because we do have that incentive reopening at some point.
Oh, we do.
To have it for MGS1 tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be as is. I believe it's just going to carry over.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. That'll be an ongoing thing. We'll have to see, how that turns out. But I appreciate everyone for the donations and keep it up. But speaking of which, did that last one have any comments, or was that also a no comment D-Limes donation?
It said JK.
JK. Nice.
Yeah, and I will. Oh, it's reback open. So, yeah.
Okay,
if
so
you guys
it's
want to
reset.
donate for tomorrow. That's what the save Meryl or Otacon is for now. Is tomorrow's run of MGS Run.
Hey, shut up in there, will ya?
So this is gonna see, Joseph just knocking, and this is to prevent him from sneezing. This does save a little bit of time. But kind of on a side note, I just noticed, because I looked over at the main stream, we just broke $700 donated. And this is the first day still. We haven't even... This is the like 9th run? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... The 8th run, and we're already at $700. That was insane, guys. Thank you all so much for the donations. Let's try to get 1K by the end of this marathon. And with that, Johnny's going to go in the bathroom. And we're going to be getting saved by... Otacon's going to give us a ration, which we have 1 ration use, which you'll typically see that being used either at Raven or at the Hind D. I was about to say the Harrier, but wrong game. They're both pretty equally annoying, so... Oh, plus you get the scarf as well. Is no problem.
I'm here. Where?
And with that, we're gonna do the old ketchup trick. Gonna be laying down, putting on the ketchup with the handkerchief, and we're gonna play a little prank on Johnny here. He's not gonna see it coming, even though. For the remake, this looks a bit sillier than the original. Like the original looked a little more believable. This one looks kind of silly, especially because you can see him physically breathing. So,
What the hell?
But same effect. Got to do the same thing. Oh, and he's going for prison. Oh, he's okay. So he's doing the safe one. So this is a very intricate glitch that was found by Furry. Now, what he's doing here is essentially making sure that he can skip a forced cutscene and a coda call at the wolf fight. So
That's better.
he actually left the room before Johnny could go to the mandatory cutscene, and because of that, he'll now be able to go through that area and save a good bit of time. Now, that was a much safer variant of it. There's a much harder one where you do not do the judo toss, where you just go for it as far as going for your stuff, but that one is super hard and really precise. But still, that one, pretty much anyone can do it. It's got like a lot of leeway.
Who's there?
And going back to the canyon now, and as I was saying before, you needed some 9 bullets for one of these guards up here.
Huh?
Yep, there you go.
Huh? What's that?
Getting the chaff grenades ready for this, so you can do the same thing that you did last time. And just backtracking through. Nothing really. Especially here, it's going to be doing the same strat they did last time. Again, making sure that you do not lay on the floor, otherwise you will trigger the codec call.
Is there somebody there?
We'll pause here to make sure the guy up top doesn't see you.
Huh? What's that?
Also, rolling upstairs is a bit faster as well. That's a little small thing he's doing to make sure you get through these rooms as fast as possible. I have stun grenades ready because for the tower climb, it's going to be a bit crazy. So compared to the original, where it was a bit different, for this one, with the introduction of the M9, the guards go down in one hit rather than in the original, where they kind of just have normal health, and really the like extreme elevation changes really mess with the fight and is kind of wonky. But for this one, we're going to be using stuns and the M9 in conjunction with each other to get through it as fast as possible. Picking up all the PSG-1T ammo that he can, because like I said, he's going to be needing it for the Wolf 2 fight and for Vulcan Raven. I forget the exact amount that he actually needs minimum for Vulcan Raven, but you don't want to be, messing with that too much. So, as stated before, skip that cutscene, because only there'd be a little cutscene in a codec call, but because of that prison skip, we were able to get past that. And now, disc change. In the original, you would do this after the Wolf 2 fight, but in this one, be done much earlier. Just as on emulators, this will be fairly quick. Yep. We're throwing a stun grenade, having it bounce off of the door to go behind him, so that way it knocks out the 2 guards following behind. Almost got shot there. It's kind of close. Get the rope ready. We're going to do that for the rappel section. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a combination of both the M9 and the stun grenade here. Actually, does a lot earlier. Okay. As you can see, the stun grenades are very effective at taking out a lot of these enemies. As you can see here, the M9 is very helpful because you just, run along and you just do one trank and you're done. So using a combination of both of these is very essential. There's a couple of different variations of how you can do this. I think Joseph's taking it a little bit safer. Definitely using more of the M9 than the stun grenade looks like. Getting close to the top here, and once we get to the top, be able to go to the rappel section, which I don't know if I'll be doing the girder glitch, but if you position Snake in a very certain area, he'll actually just kind of fall straight down, and it'll just make the like sequence go a little bit faster. That's another one that's not exactly like the original. Now we're on the roof. Here's the rappel sequence. You'll obviously get a call because Colonel just needs to tell you, make sure you know how to do this, okay? Even though you've done this 100 times, you gotta really hit that home. Just gonna be walking down this left side here. Ooh, it's a bit of a shaky. It's not the ideal start. Let's see how he recovers. This will be interesting. Okay, there he goes. Okay, so yeah. He's waiting for the steam. He doesn't want to take too much damage. Okay, so he's gonna take a save and just go down these two girders and do the girder glitch. That's fair enough, because he had that weird intro with it. And now there's gonna be these 3 guards that are gonna be awaiting us, but luckily you can just kind of snipe them from here and it'll be fine. And just like that, just trank them and they're done for. Unfortunately, you could also trank one and then the other 2 will run away, then you can throw a stun grenade, but a bit riskier. Seeing her missile launcher is going to be important for Wolf, finding out where she is, and also Rex, obviously. Force to go down here because we need to get down here and then see that, of course, this has been destroyed. I got to go back up. Make the long walk up to the Hind D fight. Also, just a small reminder for those of you that are maybe just now tuning in. Right after this run, we have Metal Gear Solid 1 on PC, and that'll be done by Underwater Smoking. He'll be doing, I believe, all bosses easy. So that'll be good to watch. And then right after that, you have Couchman doing Metal Gear Ghost Battle. Was advertised as Metal Gear Solid on the Game Boy Color. We'll be doing normal. So make sure that you guys stick around for those 2 runs. And for the section, you're just going to be throwing chaff grenades and just nothing more to. There's just, throwing chaff grenades and going up the stairs. Do we have any donation updates just in general? Not even for like, does just in general?
Not at this time, no. Last one was still D-Limes. Still looking for...
Build a snipe.
Let's see, what do we got? Still looking for that bonus game.
Oh yeah.
A Bug's Life.
New development since the first bonus game got met so quickly, we had to throw in another one, and I believe Plywood just ran that at Hootfest, right?
He did.
Yeah, so...
And it was one of the more entertaining runs, in my opinion.
Yeah, so be sure to donate for that Bug's Life run, because it's actually fairly interesting. There's a lot of interesting speed tech.
Yep, and they upped that to $200 to be met, so we have 80 to go on it.
Oh, nice. Almost there. Alright, and here we go with the Hind D fight now. Again, this is going to be the fight where we could be potentially using the ration, and similar to the MGS2 physics, you can see we can kind of sling around this Stinger missile. You don't have to exactly lock on at first, but if you eventually kind of lock on, it'll kind of curve out to where it'll actually do that. And originally you kind of had it like that, but in MGS2 engine, it is way more exaggerated, like it's way more free with it, so you'll see him just going from side to side here, make sure he does not take any damage, because he doesn't want to crash and... And one good thing about playing this on Extreme is that for the phase where it's like hide and seek, it is a lot easier for Extreme because he'll just come up instantly, but on the lower difficulties, he'll kind of stay down there for a good period of time, so a much faster paced fight, you know, it's meant to be harder. And then I believe the rest of this fight just should be just staying right here, because you will take some damage, but there's a good chance that, you know, you won't take any, so just kind of stay right here. And I see, like, the Heidi doesn't do too much damage, but it does just enough, and looks like he's pretty okay here. Yeah, as you see, has a good chance to just miss. Still one of the Raichu equipped just in case. Keep him following over with a lock on, even if it's behind there, you see he just curves downward too. This will take a bit longer than I thought. That's one of the more longer wait times on Extreme. Ooh, now he's in the bleeding. Doesn't want to take any more hits, really. I think he can survive like maybe 1 or 2 more. Let's use that ration. Luckily, he's almost done with the fight, though. So Joseph cannot use the ration. It'd be really helpful. Oh, wow, that wasn't even a lock-on. Very nice. Now it's going to hang out here in the back. And that's going to be the high D fight.
Where'd you go?
Explosion. No lock. The swag, no lock. So now we're going to traverse all the way back down to the bottom now, because now for boxes have been cleared out, boxes that are blocking our way going downward. So they've been moved over for some reason. I forget the explanation now. I can't remember if there was an explanation for it, but yeah. Again, just gonna be throwing shafts on the way down. Nothing really to it. Just throwing shafts. You called like also throw grenades, which I believe could have been a slightly faster as far as like routing wise, but I mean, you know, this is all for marathon safety, so obviously better to do shafts, because if you miss grenades, then you'll be taking damage, and that's never a good thing. So hope you're all having a fantastic Saturday night or day, or wherever you are, you know, in the world. For me, it's about 5:30 here, so hope everyone's having a good Saturday regardless. And be sure to stay tuned tomorrow, because we still have a whole other day of speedrunning. It's going to take a lot of time, and it will be ending with myself and most likely Plywood with his second bonus game that's going to be most likely met. Be sure to stay tuned tomorrow for all of those runs. We have a lot of good runs coming up. And for the elevator, we're going to be fighting the 4 horsemen who have stealth camo that was stolen from Otacon. And while they are stealthed, we can still, you know, lock on to them and just lock onto their chest and then just, you know, go to the head. And they're not exactly like the most invisible right here. And the original like stealth was a bit, you know, stealthier, I guess is the best way. You know, for like MGS2 and it's kind of like a greenish tint. You can kind of like, you know, tell the outline, at least in like this kind of setting. Now as we approach, it's going to be throwing a chaff grenade immediately. Moving to the PSG-1T, that way he doesn't take any damage here. Get some extra pentas. Now I didn't put the stinger on, I'm assuming this is going to menu manually to that, so you want to have the PSG-1T and the stinger as well, because like with the stinger you can actually see where she is, and that's kind of like your like guidance point, but and afterwards you just go to the PSG-1T. Hopefully there's some ammo right here. Yep, so you can see the lock-on box on where she is. A little bit more zoomed out, but he's still getting some of these headshots, though. You totally want to be a little more zoomed in than this. Yeah, there he goes. It's as if he's listening to me, right? And this is random, and she'll just be hiding. She's kind of staying in the area. She's almost down, though. Okay, that was pretty good wolf, too. Having her stay on that right-hand side is pretty ideal. Getting his menus ready for the blast furnace. Which was that smooth on MGS1? Yeah. I mean, it can be on any percent. Uh-huh. I'm gonna chaff grenade here to make sure that these cameras down here don't shoot him.
Who's there?
And we'll take some fall damage here. Got some stinger ammo. And just as easy as that. Obviously, that was not part of the original, so that's another redesign, quality of life change. Now we have the cargo elevator fight, which for the original, this is very difficult fight for me at least, and I think it's one of the more harder fights in the game. But for Twin Snakes, it's fairly easy thanks to the lock on. Looks like this is just rolling into them. Okay, yeah. So with the lock on and just moving slightly up, you'll just take them out. As easy as that. Joseph is smacking a beat on the control panel for us. The camera here is going to see us. We're going to go right past it, no biggie. And coming up, Raven fight, which this one is another scary one. Also scary. They really are. And for this one in particular, since he did not use the ration for the hind E fight, it's going to be a lot better. Since if this fight gets out of hand, it's pretty ugly. But you'll essentially be laying down in a very certain spot, and he'll be walking towards you, and you'll be doing these PSG-1T headshots. And you just have to tank a little bit. And he's got 18 bullets, which should be way more than enough. I forget the minimum required, but I believe it's like 12 or 13. I could be wrong though, but 18 should be more than enough. And here we go with Raven. All the Phantasmin immediately, because it does stack. So yeah, oh, missed the first shot unfortunately. You want to pause a second and then shoot, because he does have some iframes. He's gonna move over to the side. I did not quit the ration. Should be still good though. Oh, a little fast on that one. Oh. Spammed out of frustration, and there you go. That's a very clean. Now coming up to Rex's lair, which, believe it or not, this time actually has people guarding it. In the original, there was one guy, but, they're like, you know what? You know what would make more sense? If people actually guarded a government secret weapon in Alaska, in this big building, we should probably have a couple more people there, so... Luckily, they, wised up in this reimagining. And they have a bit more budget for security. Also these two guards here, which those are not in the original, and also this entire area is kind of a bit different as well. So yeah, you got two guys there, then you got two here, so, you only got one more? Or was it three? Might be three. I think it's three on extreme, I think it's two on normal. Well, two to three guards will be here, which is a big upgrade from one. That's like double or tripling your previous security, so. right here. Joseph's just gonna knock him out. And now, while it sounded like, that guy died, don't worry. He didn't actually die. If they fall into the void and you cannot see their dead body, if they fall the railing, it is considered an accident and is not counted towards your final kill count. Same thing in MGS2. So, while that may seem like, oh my gosh, you just killed him. I thought he was going for a big boss rank or whatever. That was actually 4. Okay, yeah, so 4 guards, excuse me. Yeah, really bumped up security here. And with the grenade here, so in this room altogether, there's a lot of big changes compared to what you would normally see in an MGS1 speedrun. Normally you would go back down and you would try to find the rats, and it'd be, a big RNG fest where you have to just pray that it comes out of the hole that you want to come out of. For this one, it will always come out of the same hole, and it's on the same cycle. And with the introduction of going into hanging mode and these ropes here, you can just grab this one here and yard it back down to the bottom. So I'm gonna start cooking this grenade here, and I'm gonna play a little bit of golf. And there is the Palki. Now, reason why you wouldn't shoot it, or he's a singer, is that the hitbox for the rat is very peculiar, and it's also very tiny as well. So it's a lot harder. So with the grenade explosive, it makes it a lot easier to just get the Palki out of. And also, we won't be needing to go and backtrack to the warehouse or the blast furnace. They had this idea to add in pipes to this room, to where you can just shoot the pipes and it'll blast either steam or nitrogen on you, and that will cool down or heat up the card respectively. So while this game isn't the best for a lot of Metal Gear Solid fans, it does have a lot of good quality of life changes that make this game a bit better to run nowadays than MGS1 did back in '98. And not to take away from Metal Gear Solid 1, it's a great game, but there's some of the parts for the backtracking that can get kind of tedious. But with this, it's a lot better. You see right here is going to be going all the way over here, going to hanging mode. There are these pipes. The only scary thing is missing one of these drops here. Ooh, did not grab that there, so he took a little bit of damage. He will not refill health before the Rex fight, but he still has a ration to play with, so that's fine. So yeah, gonna do the same thing after this, just for the red card. See, kind of rolling up towards the staircase there. You can even see a little bit. Really to talk about here is pretty self-explanatory. Just doing the same thing as before, just dropping down and a little trigger happy there. Did I realign? Okay. Worst thing that can happen, like I said, is that you just miss one. Oh. So he was very eager to expand, and he re-caught himself, and then he missed the rope entirely. That's unfortunate. But again, he has the ration to actually, back up with, so that's completely fine. It's just kind of funny how he was trying to not fall to the ground and re-grabbed on the ledge and then fell anyway. All these Kodak calls here, you normally get these on the... Since you didn't hear, it's all right here. One of the longer codec sequences, and of course, like I said before, very thankful that you can just double tap A and you can skip through all these codex scenes rather than having to master through all of them individually. Otherwise, the game would be a lot more difficult. They really learned their lesson with Metal Gear Solid 1 because with both 2 and 3, you were able to either skip it by double tapping or by pressing and holding, or in MGS4's case, you just press one button and it skips everything. That was just, everything is skipped. So now with that, surprise, surprise, not actually Meller, actually Liquid Snake. Who saw that one coming? He's going to fill up the room with gas, trapping you inside. But it's okay. You got the bro Otacon here. The one who you'll be riding out into the sunset with. Helping you out. Helping you get out of here. And with that, we're going to start the Rex fight. For the first phase, we're just going to be hitting the Ray Dome. The first phase plays very similarly to the original. Except for, if you stand in a very particular spot, he will never hit you, actually. So you see he's going to be firing these missiles. Oh, so Joseph is actually walking forward and maybe playing it a little bit safer, perhaps. Understandable. But definitely for the next phase, if you, where you spawn in, it is the perfect spot, and you will not get hit there ever, so you literally just stay still. And see, oh yeah, see, yeah, look right there. The biggest problem for this is actually locking on to either the gun underneath or to one of the eyes. And even though he's nowhere looking directly at it, it can still just auto lock onto that for whatever reason. That's just an unfortunate thing in the engine. That's just a bug / just an unfortunate thing that does happen.
Neither truly alive nor truly dead.
Welcome, Steg.
An undying shadow in a world of light. But soon
It's no good. I can't do it. It's no good. I can't do it.
And basically, like I said, we're just going to be standing in place and firing the stinger. Equipping the ration just in case. Shouldn't be needing it though, but in case things go awry. Oh, it's actually going forward. Interesting. I guess he wants to... Okay. I think that's entirely necessary, but... Yeah. Simply, if you just stay in place, you'll be fine. But nonetheless, it's done. And now the fist fight with Liquid, which this one is also a bit different from the original. There's a particular setup for where we can do a punch roll into the corner, and if you do it just right, you can continuously hit him through your roll a bunch of times and deal a lot of damage. And we call that the lottery roll. I forget who exactly found that. Again, I forget. But that's what we're going to be going for here. So as you see, Joseph's going to be running over here. Whoa. That was an interesting one. Okay, so it didn't exactly get him in the corner. I think it's doing... Okay, there he goes. Oh, didn't get it. At this point, just go for doing punches. I'm gonna try one more time. Yeah, so right here now is in the next phase. Well, unfortunately, did not get it. And doing this little infinite here in the corner. Oh, it slipped out, unfortunate. A little bit silly as they're going through each punch, but you see, you got that. Did not get the lottery roll, but you got a little bit of that little infinite there. And just gonna be doing a double punch into running away, and Liquid's gonna keep on trying to hit us, but we're a little too fast. And that is the Liquid fist fight. Now we have to escape with the bro, Otacon. JosephJoestar316 going off in the sunset with Otacon. Thanks to your guys' donations.
Hurry! I'll take the wheel.
We're doing time on the white
A
screen.
surveillance camera.
Yes. Well, I assume so. But yeah, that's our usually RTA stopping point. And I guess after that we'd have Joseph in for some words. Oh. Hopefully, some words. A collection of words.
long as he wants to say so, he's more than welcome.
Of course. Yeah, see, these guys are just kind of shooting at the wall and then getting kind of tired of it, and then they throw a grenade. Again, don't want to be killing these guys, so for whatever reason, explosions from the barrel just knock them out. Even though, you know, that barrel was right next to him, it just knocked him out, didn't kill him. So very interesting design choice there as far as, like, you know, making this a non-lethal playthrough, even though that barrel would probably seriously injure, maybe kill someone. It just does, it knocks them out cold.
Here they come.
Oops. Yep. And you see right there, just get knocked out. Last checkpoint until we get to liquid. Wait for that guy to walk over to put the last barrel. Hey, don't shoot Otacon. What are you doing, Joseph? I don't think he's happy about the Otacon ending. I think going to the Maryland ending. I think that's what he's trying to tell us right here. And with this, just going to be spamming it, and you don't want to be like directly on him because then he'll just start swerving consistently. So you want to be kind of doing a wide spray. And this is split up into phases. You have a tunnel right here. Once you times, we'll go into this one. And this is all health dependent. There's an invisible health bar going on here, so this whole tunnel section will until you hit him the number of times required. Unfortunately, there's like no health bar. I think they probably should have done that, perhaps. But I mean, keeping true to the original, you know, not showing the health bar, I guess. I can respect both options. And this one's a bit weird with trying to hit him because it's moving, and you have to kind of aim a little bit to the left of him. Yeah, it's a bit weird. The original is also like this, where you have to kind of aim awkwardly, and then you're behind him. And time's coming up here pretty soon. And time.
GG's.
GGS. 10301 from Joseph Joestar. 316. Forgot the numbers. 316. But yeah, so all that's left to do really is go through all these credits, which I assume we're not going to be going, but you know, Joseph may say some words. And just for fun, we're going to go and look at his speedrun.com page. Speedrun.com will open for me just to see his PB, because while we don't have the like in-game timer, we can get a good idea from the RTA. So that was a 103.1. Let's see what his PB is.
Hello.
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 How's everybody doing?
We are doing. We are doing.
All right, so I'm disappointed I didn't get to seconds.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, I was about to say. The RTA is a 107. So.
Yeah, I mean that one's a Merrill run. I haven't submitted an Otacon run yet, but my Otacon ending as of before this run was 101.39 RTA, and this one on mine is now 102.58.
Wow. So I want you to remind me, because I know that like Raichu got a PB. Did Mac get a PB on stream as well? I know that like he got one during practice.
I don't think so.
Okay, so that makes the second PB on stream. Pretty sure. But yeah.
Do we have time for credits, or do I have to bounce?
I mean, we're fairly ahead of schedule.
Because I'm willing to wait for the IGT if that's fine.
I mean,
we can
yeah,
riff until then.
yeah, probably, because I mean, let me see our schedule.
We're like an hour ahead.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're getting the thumbs up from staff saying we're ahead.
I mean, hey, 1 hour for that run is like the worst possible thing to happen, and a lot of things went right, which is strange because every time that I do like a marathon type run for that, it is always like that where I get insane luck. But if I practice, it's like average. So at least I'm making sure things are ahead of schedule, that we have like a lot of breathing room for stuff like this for you to get a PB. But yeah, so mine trying to explain what was that whole vent screw up, because that was a bit interesting where you just
Oh god, yeah. It's
misclick.
happened to me before. It was the last thing I expected to happen, of course, on a marathon of all things, right?
Yeah,
Just finger slip. That's all I can
yeah.
say. I finger slip.
Finger slipped onto the yeah. It's quite unfortunate. Yeah, because I was like, I think he's gonna get the game over, but I don't know exactly for sure. So,
Oh yeah, if you do that, you're 100% gonna get a game over.
so I've
There's no
never
backing that
had
up.
that happen to me before. So I
No.
was kind of mystified at that.
Yeah, it's I think the last time it's happened to me was maybe like a month or so ago, and it's been good ever since until today.
hmm
Um,
So
but yeah, I was pretty happy with the run, even being like 20 seconds behind on my splits going into the cell. A lot of good boss fights that I had. Mantis was good. I didn't get the critical shot at the end, so I had to kind of make it up a little bit.
yeah, that one
But
was a little bit rough.
Sniper 2 is probably my best one this week.
I really
It's never
liked
that smooth.
Wolf One. Your Wolf
Oh
One was
really?
was actually surprisingly well, yeah, because I like don't even go for those moving headshots personally because I'm just not confident in my shot. But I saw you do this.
Mhm.
Wow, that's actually pretty good. Like you're doing a lot of those really well. So yeah.
Yeah, she could be a little tricky, with that stuff. I mean, I don't get it all the time, but
hmm
it's at least in my run, it started to turn around at Sniper 2. It was a really quick fight.
So since we have time to riff here, what is your personal favorite part of the run? Just like playing through the run, like which one do you enjoy the most? Like which part? Like maybe a certain boss fight, a certain room.
With just Twin Snakes or just in general?
Twin Snakes.
Just Twin Snakes. Just for memes, I would say Ocelot, since he's literally the easiest fight in the game. You just shoot his head and listen to his best scream ever.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But for reals though, I would say probably say the liquid fight at the end of the game.
The fist fight you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fist fight's pretty fun.
Now you're trying to go for the lateral setup, and unfortunately did not get it, but you still got that little single punch semi-infinite thing, which is
Yeah, I got
interesting.
like a little like double hit lottery, but it wasn't the
Oh
grand
yeah,
lottery.
yeah.
It's I did get the spot where he goes in that corner where he's tucked, but I just didn't really connect with the roll properly.
hmm
And then he kind of bounced out of the corner. I had to push him back in. I was just like, "Oh my god, Liquid, what are you doing right now? Like I'm trying to save this run, and you keep squeezing out."
Yeah.
But no, it was I was a little kicking myself at the beginning, but I kind of just stuck to the game plan, try to keep it smooth and safe, and try playing a little bit of risk with Mantis, but I didn't get the last shot before the end. But it was, I don't know, it was worth a try anyway. But yeah, Snipers was good. Rex was pretty good, and I don't know. I'm pretty happy that this run PB'd, honestly. Given that, yeah, I threw a freaking stun in the vent.
I'm trying to remember the exact command, but make sure that you guys follow Joe's plays not only this, but he plays a bunch of other MGS games as well. He also plays 2, 3, 4, and Twin Snakes. I think that's like your main lineup, right? Oh, and Rising. Almost forgot Rising.
Yeah, I will pretty much run 1 through 4 this game and Revengeance, and I'm looking to get into MGS1 and MGS4 after this event. Give them a try again.
MGS1, nice. Can't wait to see that.
Hmm.
And as we are approaching the very end of the credits here, going to be seeing now. You said that there should be a PB, should be, or that that like this is a PB.
Yeah, my RTA is already confirmed it's a PB, so
Okay.
I'm guessing that the in-game timer is going to be like sub 101.20 something.
Okay. Okay. Fair.
If my RTA is accurate.
So one thing, if you want some advice for this time, one thing that I saw that was kind of interesting, nerves or like for safety reasons, but at the second phase of Rex, you moved around, and typically you just stay still and just fire singers the entire time, but you had like moved around. So I don't know if like you were just afraid of that failing, because that can fail, I believe, if it goes for too long.
I guess the only thing is that I'm just concerned about the missile splash damage. If I just stand perfectly still, like I
Yeah.
will get hit. But that's really it. It's just to anticipate the missiles, move forward, and then kind of inch my way back, bait more missiles, and then just end the fight.
Yeah, that'd be like the one thing that would probably be like the quickest change. Like you can just change because it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, because I've had that, myself for me personally. But it's been whenever I've been missing shots and the fight goes on for a while, then it to get out of hand. But if you're just consistent with your shots, I think if you just stand still, that'd be fine. If you have to crouch.
Yeah, and I think probably just given how it started, I just kind of went into like safe mode until I
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
the very
Fair
near
enough.
end. I was like, I don't want to screw anything else up
Yeah,
because
fair enough.
honestly, the one thing that was eating at me was going in was Mantis and the infamous drop in the hangar.
Oh yeah.
You know,
The
I
rat
get the
drop.
biggest eye roll reaction for me whenever I die to the infamous drop. I've lost good runs to it.
I have too, and many others have died to that rope. So yeah, and also just a small update for those still tuning in. We're going to be going back to Shadow Moses here with Underwater Smoking for Metal Gear Solid 1 on PC, all bosses, easy difficulty, with Glenn on a commentary, the one who has been very fantastic in doing these past couple of restreams. So be sure to
So
stay tuned
there
for
you
that.
have it. It's 101.28. That's pretty much right where my RTA would line it up.
Oh.
Just minus the 10, 11 that I saved at the end. Yeah, would have been a big boss if I didn't screw up the vent. But I'm happy with it, honestly. It kind of turned into something nice.
There you go. Well, GG Joseph, and I think that'll be it for me. I'll be back on tomorrow morning, first thing, for the four-way Metal Gear Solid 3 very easy race. So that'll be interesting to watch. So,
And for I guess our viewers, I will be commentating that race that Tyler, as well as Plywood, Iridescence, and Apache will be a part of,
yep,
which is the four-way MGS3 very easy race.
yep.
So definitely cool to check out. But I guess before I sign off, just a little closing remarks. Everybody, thank you for watching the stream. Thank you for all the donations. I'm sad that Merrill didn't get saved, but there's always the next time. But shout outs to MGS Star for hosting this. Raichu, definitely hope that he'll get over there, run MGS3 for all of us to see from the community. Also, shout outs to Tyler himself, because he's one of the people that actually motivated me to get into speedrunning after seeing his run last year with MGS2 on HTC. So again, just, big shout outs to everybody for watching. And then that's going to be it for me. So thank you.
All right, thanks, Joseph.
Thank you, Joseph, for that awesome run. This has been Metal Glenn Soda. I'm going to hand the restream reins over to our main man, Plywood. But I'm going to hang out for
Whoa, Glenn, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm good, man.
I heard we had a few Discord kerfuffles earlier on in this stream, but that is okay.